What makes Hank Hill such a fascinating character, in my opinion, is how he is portrayed as the inverse to the stereotypical sitcom dad. When you look at sitcom dads, especially in cartoons, the archetype is pretty much the same. They are bumbling idiots, alcoholics, selfish, greedy. For how much I love Peter Griffin, I would hate to have him as a father. The dude is a terrible fucking father. He's a terrible husband. He is easily one of the worst male role models that you can see on TV. But if you notice, Hank isn't like that at all. Hank is loyal, he is competent, he is disciplined, he is hardworking. While many dismiss him for being a closed-minded redneck with little to no ambition, he's always willing to learn from others, and he just kind of really lacks ambition because to him, he's achieved everything that he really wants. We all know the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's Hank Hill. He has a job where he's able to provide for his family that he loves, and he's not asking for too much. He takes pride in the little things, whether that be mowing his lawn or just having a beer with his friends after work. And for a lot of men, as they get older, from boys to teenagers to men, they realize this is the dream. Hank Hill's living the dream. Imagine coming home from a long day of work at a job that you enjoy to only just sit in the backyard for a few hours with your friends, having beer before dinner with your family. That really is a dream. Taking pride and appreciating the small things that you have. I also think that's where someone like Buck comes into the picture. Even though Buck is far more wealthier, and he is Hank's boss, he does not live a happy life. Buck has no discipline. The way that he treats his wives and others means he has no self-respect. Buck has been so hell-bent on living such a fast, hedonist lifestyle that he's at the point where he has to rely on Hank just to keep his business afloat, which makes him easily one of the worst people in the show. I would even probably consider it even worse than Cotton. While Cotton is a piece of shit, he doesn't hide that he's a piece of shit, and there are times where he actively tries not to be a piece of shit. Buck knows he's a piece of shit, but doesn't really seem to care to do anything about that. All he ever really does is just guides it as a friendly father figure to replace Cotton to Hank, because he knows that Cotton did so little for Hank that all he really needs to do to just keep Hank happy is just a pat on the back. I mean, he constantly actively takes advantage and manipulates Hank's emotional needs for the benefit of himself. But there's never a point in the entire show where you're like, yeah, Buck is the boss. He would make a good boss. It's always Hank. Hank really is the de facto boss of the entire operation. And for a lot of men, when it comes to the relationship with their boss, especially within blue-collar work, that usually is the case. That's how they feel. And that's why it's so interesting to see what people have to say about Hank Hill being a character, because a lot of people often don't really like him, even though he literally does everything correct, or at the very least, he's actively trying to make good and positive decisions. And even if Hank does come to the realization one day that he's being taken advantage of by Buck, he would still go into work the next day because those are his principles and values. He has a family to feed.